Hello and welcome to Women Thrive interview series with our speakers from the 2026 Women Thrive Summit. Today, we're talking about authenticity and midlife reinvention. And today's guest and our speaker is Marielle Spachens. Hi, Marielle. How are you?
Hi, Ramanda. I'm very well. Thank you.
Where are you joining us from today?
I'm joining you from a very wet and gray Portugal.
Oh, well, I hope it does get better because here in Spain we are enjoying nearly summer, so I'm definitely super excited, but I know weather has been kind of a bit challenging in some places.
It has. Portugal is not used to this amount of rain at this time of the year.
Yeah, so today we're talking about authenticity is the key to midlife magic, which is the title of the talk of Marielle's and the Women Thrive Summit 2026. And what I want to do is invite our audience today to share some of your insights as you listen to our conversation, some of your experiences, but also in the comments below, let us know where in the world you're joining from, because I know we have a global community and would love to hear where you're tapping in from today. Marielle, please introduce yourself to our audience. Let them know who you are and what you do.
Thank you, Ray. So I'm Marielle. Marielle Spachens is my name. I'm the founder of Mind Breeze, and I'm a midlife reinvention and confidence coach. I help women in midlife to go from feeling lost to loving life again. And for me, the trigger to really start doing that and having good results is saying yes to life again.
Yeah, I love it. And who do you mainly work with and how do you support them?
I work with women in midlife, usually, brilliant women who spend their whole life in different roles, many different roles, and are usually kind of overachievers and perfectionists. And at a certain point in time, when they get older and some of their roles don't fit anymore or are in the past, they keep holding on to those roles and they forget how to live a life for themselves and to think for themselves and to say yes to themselves. So these are the kind of women I help.
Yeah, amazing. So, in your talk, we're going to be talking about authenticity is the key to midlife magic. What inspired you and why authenticity is the key subject of this matter?
Again, this boils back to the life that women in midlife have lived already, right? It's so often thinking about the husband, thinking about the kids, thinking about the neighbors, thinking about the parents, thinking about everybody. And as a mother, you have two small girls. The only thing you can think about for a certain time in your life is being the best mother for your kids, and everything is for them, right? When you reach a certain stage and you get older, you have acquired all this wisdom, you have acquired all this experience in life, but you forgot who you actually are and who you have been because you played so many different roles. And the trigger for me was that I became flat, right? I became content. And I love the word content. Don't get me wrong. I think content is a beautiful word, but it held me back. I had so much more to give. And I kind of thought, okay, this is it. Kids are gone now. I have my garden, I have my pets, I have my house. There's enough to do. There's always enough to do, right? But there's so much more. There's so much more.
Yeah.
And I promised myself some time ago to say yes again. For me, that was the trigger. And that doesn't mean I said yes to everything, because I think a conscious no is a big yes to yourself as well. But I wanted to say yes to new challenges. I wanted to say yes to being uncomfortable again, learning new things, putting myself in situations that had I didn't need to because I had so much to do with what was going on. But that's
Yeah.
kind of in the past now. And instead of holding on to the past, I think there's so much to live for and to be excited about in the future.
Mm. So tell me a little bit more about that moment when you said yes to new adventures. What kind of adventures did that bring into your life now?
Okay. Well, like with everything, when you decide to do something, you can just make it like a promise to yourself, or you can announce it to the world, right? And I think I wasn't the only one who made a lot of promises to myself. And then a few months later, I thought, oh, okay, right, maybe not, right? So I tried to change it. And I told my husband first, I said, look, New Year's coming. I'm going to say yes to everything. Maybe not everything, but I'm going to say yes to life again. Okay. He was like, wow, that's amazing. Let's do this, right? I told my best friends, girlfriends, this is what I'm going to do. Watch me. This is what I'm going to do. And if you feel I don't do it, hold me, tell me, right? So I announced it to my kids because, my kids, I was a stay at home mom. And I was like, mom's going to change, right? I'm going to do different things. So you better be aware of that. And they were like, go for it, mom. So I had the okay, even from my parents, they were like, it's time you start doing stuff for yourself again, right? So I had the permission, you might call it the permission from all the people that are important to me. And I started with taking surfing lessons. So I live in
Mm.
Portugal. They call it the surfing paradise of Europe, which it is, right? And I had only been watching my kids and my husband surfing, right? And everybody else. So I took surfing lessons. That was the first thing. Then I said yes to a last minute skiing weekend in Austria. Then we, all kinds of things. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get back to my old passion. And my old passion, I used to be a coach like 25 years ago. I had my own company, also called Mind Breeze. And I'm like, I have to learn all the skills and all the tech and all the socials and everything I need to know to do what it is I really loved 25 years ago, and I still love it and I still can do it and I want to go back. So, all these things. And as a result, things came to me. It sounds really, silly maybe, or, like, oh, but it happened. Things came to me. Women Thrive, happened. It wasn't planned. Setting up my Mind Breeze company again. It happened one step at a time. I was drawn into that direction. So yeah, it changed a lot for me in the moment that I made a decision. I made a
Mm.
decision to change.
Yeah, it usually, there's a saying that just take that first step and then the whole staircase is going to unravel itself. So even when you don't know how the story is going to evolve, you don't know which direction this is going to take you, sometimes just saying yes, that's the first step to really, and that's what you decided to do, just to say yes to yourself, say yes to adventure, say yes to going back to some of your passions, and then everything else kind of unraveled. And do you think that women in general find it harder to go through this reinvention later in life because maybe we think this is it, or I've done all these things in my life and now maybe it's time to kind of retire or take it easy, and maybe they're missing out on the whole world of opportunities that they may, I don't know, just maybe not even envision that is there for them.
Yeah, I think it gets harder. I think for most women, it gets harder. And it doesn't even, I don't think it matters if you have been in the corporate world or not, or if you have been a stay at home mom. I think at a certain age, it's society like telling you, you're getting older, right? There's no place for you anymore. And maybe if you haven't been in touch with the whole, online world, which is very prominent now, and you have not been in touch with the latest tech and with the latest things, you really feel like, what now? And here I think it is why I focus on authenticity, because women my age, women this midlife age, they can be a little bit younger, they can be older. We've lost touch with our inner voice. We've lost touch with our gut in many cases. We've lost touch with our inner compass, because we have been thinking and acting and running, with other people and other things on our mind first.
Mm.
So going back to yourself is, I think, the most important thing, to figure out how you can really say yes to life again. What does that mean for you? What can you add? What is your purpose? What do you feel really good about? What makes you happy? What makes you fulfilled, right? And that connection is sometimes, it's a long road back in time to figure that out. And you need to have stillness. You need to ask yourself the right questions. You need to also have a certain sense of being proud of all the things that you've done in the past, because women are very bad at that. Women just think, okay, that's my role. I am a mom. I did all these things. Yes, I was taking care of my parents. I did all these things. But the celebrating all the things you've done is also an important life, to take what you have now and move from there.
Yeah, yeah. I think uh, challenging ourselves, and I love, you said I've taken up surfing lessons, which, sometimes it's not. You may not even think like, I don't know if I would put myself on a surfing board.
Yeah,
I'm still debating that. It looks nice, but I don't know if that's for me. But sometimes that's what you need to do. Just get yourself out of the comfort zone to show to yourself just what you're capable of. Sometimes we forget. I had this bracelet that my mentor gave me. Remember who you are. And sometimes, you know, that identity that we may have had in the 20s, the crazy dancing in the club, or,
exactly.
maybe an explorer or a traveler or whatever was your identity, maybe there is something that still lights your fire, right?
Yeah,
That you could do it in a different way, right? You don't have to be still dancing in a club, but you could be taking up dancing lessons, or, traveling in places where really fulfills your current identity now. And just that's what we're talking about, like reinvention. You get to reinvent yourself as many times as you want, and you don't have to listen to the world saying this is it really for you.
yeah,
And you perhaps could inspire other people as well, and that's maybe something that we don't realize, that by doing that you might be inspiring somebody else.
yeah, absolutely.
Do you
And
find that people around you notice the difference about you, your life, and maybe even reached out and said, "Wow, Mario, like this is amazing."
you mean other people? Sorry, I missed you. I missed a little bit for a few seconds.
Yeah, have you had other people reaching out to you and kind of noticing the difference in you?
Oh, yes, yes, a lot, a lot. And I have to say, not only women, a lot of men as well, because I think they recognize that, you know, they recognize it with their wives as well. That we, I think women are brilliant in multitasking. We are brilliant in silently doing stuff. We are brilliant in keeping it all together, right? And we think that's normal, and in a way it is. You don't have to brag about it. You don't have to but it is kind of special. So yeah, I have a lot of women reaching out to me and saying, "Hey, this is exactly how I feel. This is exactly what I need. This is so recognizable." But like I said, man as well. And to me, that's an amazing thing as well. That the men read my posts or read my stories, I discovered that I love writing. I loved writing as a very small girl. I could just spell. So now I'm
Mm.
writing because that is something I like to do, you know, in the afternoon, just with a cup of tea and write stories. I love that. So yeah, a lot of people have reached out and told me that they really find calm in the stories, and it makes them feel like they are not alone. So this is also why I'm so passionate about this subject, and why I think that it's a big thing to share about midlife and authenticity, and that there's a whole new chapter out there for us.
Yeah, absolutely. Mario, you will be speaking on the subject, Authenticity is the Key to Midlife Magic, at the Women Thrive Summit, which is happening March 16th to the 20th. And I'd love to invite our audience to also make sure you register for this event. So tell me a little bit more. What can people expect if they do attend your talk?
Yeah. So it's a 45-minute talk, and I will teach a little bit about things that are really easy to do to make a change, and to say a little yes to yourself in the beginning. I will also talk about exactly what authenticity means for me, and how it has helped me, how to get in touch with my authenticity again and figure out what it is I wanted to do. And a big part of my talk will be about very practical exercises that my audience can do immediately, that will make a change in their lives.
Yeah, fantastic. And I want to invite our audience, if this conversation is something that is perhaps relevant, timely for you, feel free to either ask questions or leave a comment in the chat. Just to say, I was here. Because this is, our invitation for you to be part of this conversation, because it really does matter for us to have this conversation. What does it look like? What does midlife reinvention look like for you? What is that next chapter? And let's have this conversation, because at the Women Thrive Summit and also in our community, we truly invite diverse conversations about different subjects that affects all of us, right? There will be time in the woman's life that you will get to that age, and maybe all those questions will come about where, okay, what do I do with this chapter? What do I do in this season? How do I still make it wholesome and fun and creative and relevant and create impact in this world? And Mario, we work with a lot of women who are in so-called second act of their lives, and I see the fire in them and almost urgency to do all these things, to travel, to speak on stages, to author books, to make an impact. And perhaps they've been through the season of working for somebody else, season of taking care of kids, maybe taking care of their parents, and now they almost found this freedom and opportunity to do something for themselves. And I love seeing that fire in women, because it truly shows me that, look, it's never too late. It's never too late to do a degree. It's never too late to write a book or do something that really lights your fire. And I think this is the time to do something that creates a meaningful impact in the world.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I agree totally. It's never too late. You know, we
Yeah.
might think it's too late, or we're behind, or it's never too late. It's and the fulfillment you get from doing something that really comes from the inside, from something that you knew already. The women I work with, they know already they have something inside of them. They just kind of forgot or lost touch with it. And
Mm.
getting that back means you wake up in the morning full of energy, and you go back to bed in the night feeling fulfilled. That
Yeah.
is, if you talk about happiness, to me, that is happiness, right? That's happiness. And it's out there. It's out there. Never too late.
Amazing. Mario, how do people get in touch with you? Where do they follow you that you're most active on?
I'm most active on Facebook because that's from the old days, because I haven't been active on socials for quite a while. But so I went back to my Facebook. That's where most of my audience is. But I have a link, I have a Instagram link and a LinkedIn link. And I write, so those socials are under my name, Marielle Spetjens, as well as a Substack account that I just started end of last year. I love to write stories there. It's also under my name, Marielle Spetjens, and my website is mindbreeze.ae.
Fantastic. Marielle, this has been great. And I hope that more women get engaged in this conversation at the Women Thrive Summit. You're speaking, I think, on day 3?
Yes, I
Day
speak on
3.
18th of March at 11 a.m. UK or London, Lisbon time. So it's the same time in London as it is in Lisbon. And
Yeah.
I would love to see you there.
Amazing. And this event is virtual, so you can join from anywhere in the world, and it will be streamed on Zoom, but you will be able to participate fully. It's not just some webinar link. You actually get to put on your camera, engage in the conversations, and really participate in these discussions. So Maria will be delivering her talk on Wednesday, the 18th of March, but the whole event is running for an entire week. So do make sure you block out your diary between the 16th to the 20th as you can. You can drop in throughout the day and really participate in some of these talks. We have nearly 50 amazing speakers presenting on our stage, and this is a great opportunity for women to be part of this incredible movement and celebration and conversations that really, really matters to us. So I definitely invite you to save your free spot, and if you feel called to, you can also upgrade your ticket for more access and wonderful gifts that our speakers have prepared. So head over to womenthrivesummit.com, register for your spot. Maria will be there, so find her talk. Authenticity is the key to midlife magic, if this is calling to you. And before we go, I want you to share this. So make sure you hit that share button, share it with your audience, or just send it to somebody privately that you know may find this really relevant right now. Marielle, thank you so much for being here with us today. I look forward to seeing you at the summit.
Thank you, Ramona. Thank you very much.
Great to see you. And thank you all for listening. These are the series that you get to tap in almost on a daily basis leading up to the summit. So keep an eye out for other interviews with our speakers from the Women Thrive Summit 2026. I look forward to seeing you on another live. Take care for now. Bye.
Bye.